Hello and welcome. I'm Zilla, and this is my stream, Ancient Gaming, where I play video games with ancient studies content and talk about it. Today is part 10 of our playthrough of Okami, a game about Japanese mythology and folklore. Uh, and we are having a good time running around and painting the crap out of terrifying enemies. Yes. And monkeys. Also monkeys. Um, so, if you are new here, welcome. I would love to hear from you if you're here live in chat. If you want to check out this game from the beginning or any of the other games that I have played on Ancient Gaming, you can always check out my YouTube channel where I do upload all of the streams. And also a bunch of other stuff like activism content and video essays on various things and board game reviews and all sorts of things. If you would like to keep up with me, the best way to do so is Zillable on Blue Sky. You can see all of the social links down there at the bottom of the screen. I'm also on Mastodon, but I do try to stream Ancient Gaming every Saturday, so we're trying to make our way through. If you don't want to be spoiled on Okami, now's the time to jump away and go start from the beginning. But for the rest of you, I am going to give us a summary to get up to where we are now. So, Okami is a game that is predicated on a pun in Japanese, a very, very common form of wordplay in Japanese, which has a very limited syllabary set. It means great goddess, or great god, they don't really distinguish, and also it means wolf, depending on how you write it. So, we are the great goddess Amaterasu, the head of the Japanese Shinto pantheon, and we are also embodied as a wolf, with a white pelt with fiery markings, and the divine power of the invisible calligraphy brush. We can paint our will upon the world. So, we have been summoned to deal with the demon Orochi, a seven-headed serpent, demon dragon. We would call it a dragon in the West for sure. It's not the same as a dragon in the East. In Eastern mythology, especially in Japanese and Chinese mythology, dragons tend to be benevolent or, at worst, trickster water spirits. Ancient, powerful, not necessarily inclined to like you, but in general they're more in line with a sort of benevolent nature spirit. Whereas, European dragons tend to be monstrous and something that needs killing. So here we think of it as a demon or an evil spirit. So the demon Orochi has been unleashed from its captivity. It was killed 100 years ago. It's been unleashed, and its effect is blighting the land of Nippon, an old name for Japan. And darkness covers the land. So we go about reviving guardian saplings, which protect the world, and dealing with problems large and small to gain gratitude or worship that we can use to regain our divine powers. Someone very kindly in the in comments last time pointed out that I was not actually taking the time to upgrade my health and ink reserves as I should, so I will be doing that shortly. Hi, DJ Trundlebot, welcome back. DJ Trundlebot says, "Is Orochi at all like a Hydra?" So yes and no, in that the Hydra, there was only one in Greek mythology, was a monster, many-headed serpent being of some nature. The Hydra's trick was that if you cut off one head, it would sprout 3 more from the neck. There's no such thing with Orochi. It's an 8-headed beast from start to finish. But if you play a lot of Japanese games, you'll see that there's a lot of sort of merging of the two ideas. I'm particularly thinking of Zelda, where you sometimes have to fight Gleeoks, which are three-headed dragon beasts, or what were the name of the? Were they also Gleeoks in Skyward Sword? I can't remember what they were called, but you had to slash them all in a row in order for them to actually die. Um, so you get kind of a mix of that idea of a multi-headed serpent monster, where you have to kill all the heads at once or it doesn't actually die. So Orochi's not like that, in that it doesn't sprout new heads. But it is very dangerous because if you only focus on one head, the others will eat you. So, with that said, let's get started. We are in the village of Kusa, or Grass, and we have just defeated the Scarlet Helm monster and freed the town from its curse. So everybody was having a lot of trouble. My inkwells were dry. So let's upgrade our inkwell. And we've still got some, so let's upgrade our health as well. That seems fine. I'll bet we have some new things to check out in the logbook. What have we got? Canine warrior hunt. Ah, yes. So we were given the task by Princess Fuse of the Satomi clan, who is the last Shinto priestess guarding the village, and was being possessed by the Scarlet Helm. And she is now free. We freed her, and now we are tasked by her with finding the canine warriors, who are a clan of actual dog protectors who will help defend the shrine. They're all scattered all across the land. We have a little beacon sort of thing, a little charm in a box that floats around and tells us which direction the nearest one is. So we've stopped her from being possessed, but there's still the Scarlet Helm still holds the shrine, and so there are 5 here in this village, and we have to convince them to come with us. And then we have been tasked also with going down to the house of the Cutters, a terrifying couple in Taka Pass, who keep trying to kill and eat us. And they had a bird cage made for them. That's not great. So that's what's up in the logbook. We've got some new entries in our demonic bestiary, our yokai. So a blue imp. They fly on little kites. Kites are a common sight in Japan. They are, most paper crafts are very common in Japan. They make paper out of bamboo. A very useful plant, it turns out. Not just for its wood, but also for its potential for paper. So they make rice paper walls, they make they make bamboo structures. So you can get rice paper, you can get bamboo paper, and one thing that everybody loves about paper is that you can make it fly. I mean, whom amongst us has not made a paper airplane of some kind? But when it's, commonplace in your culture, it's not unusual to have the idea of flying a kite. So they do fly kites for festivals, and they have floating paper lanterns like you might see in festivals elsewhere in Southeast Asia. They are, of course, known for their folded paper, origami, but there's also an art called kirigami, or cut paper. Um, so, so the imp, the blue imp in this case, flies is another monkey spirit flying through the air attached to a kite. They're specifically known for rude language. And they are able to produce gusts of wind. I can't quite see what kanji is written on there. I want it to be the kanji for air, but it is clearly not. It looks like, well, I'm not sure. So what else have we got? Oh, Waka again. So Waka is our weird little folk hero guy. He's Ponce. He's a caricature both of a foppish nobleman in Heian, Japan, but also of the foreigner. He likes to speak in French because that's a common foreign language to hear. He has blonde hair, um, so this is good info. It does come from somewhere. We have a lot of stories of the traveler Waka. Sometimes he's young and pretty, like we see him here. Sometimes he's an old hermit, but he is essentially very mysterious. Um, so, so Isun um, is the name of our grand artist companion, who is Isun, 1 inch tall. And he I got distracted. Sorry. I was like, is there actually a Waka figure? Oh. He was based on uh, Ushi Wakamaru, or Minamoto no Yoshitsune. So sort of a legendary general who was supposed to have been taught the way of the sword by a tengu, a mythological bird figure. So he's a very mysterious character of folklore. He's kind of half spirit, half person. He's irreverent to Amaterasu in this story. Anyway, I was talking about Isun. Isun is our tiny little companion who likes to paint. So this is written from the perspective of in-world Isun portraying Waka after these adventures are over. Because the monsters, the spirits here are very much based on Japanese mythology, but not all of them appear as is. Like the blue imp, like all of the imps, the monkey spirits. I don't think I've seen something exactly like them in stories of yokai, but they fit right in. There are so many different kinds of yokai that it doesn't really matter. Like there's a bean counting yokai that's just a man with like a little thing of azuki beans. Um, there's a yokai that's just a woman with a very long neck that can snake around and uh, do weird things. There are yokai that are just umbrellas with an eye and a foot that hop around. There's all kinds of stuff. So little imps that like kites are, of course, why not? We've also met some new animals. We met tigers. I love tigers. Okay, that was all. So we are currently in Taka Pass, Kusa Village. Oh, we've gone way far south. So we started out in effectively Hokkaido, the North Island of Japan. Um, and we are now all the way down uh, in the middle of the main island to the south. We're quite near. We're quite near where Kyoto is, I believe. It's a little hard to tell the way they've drawn things. Um, there's a big capital city nearby. We've seen the city checkpoint as we're walking around. So we've come a much longer way on the map than it feels like we've traveled in game. Feels like everything is kind of near each other. Look at that big map. Okay. Oops. No, let's get out of here. Okay. So we are. Oh, I know what else I wanted to check. I wanted to check how many bags of meat I have, and the answer is 0. So let's go buy some. As if those other doggos want some meat to be befriended, we're going to need it. Yes, let's do some shopping. Pinwheel. Cute. Don't need it though. So let's get 10 of these. We'll just have them. Alright, so we found one of the dog warriors. Whoops. And dawn is rising. So we're gonna have to go. Oh, let's go in here. What's the inn like now that we've lifted the curse? Well, you're still upset. Bust down the walls. Oh, hey. This is a new person. Hello. Haruka. So, again, we see that very feminine Japanese body language where she's supposed to be attractive. She's got her hands covered by her kimono. Her feet are kind of pigeon-toed, slender, and very much off balance. So she's apparently come here alone to do some task. Some kind of warrior, she thinks herself. She's got around her neck some kind of message carrier, it looks like. So, like, something that might hold a scroll. It's a little bit hard to see from here. Isun, our typically misogynistic little companion. I am that dog that doesn't knock. It's true. Okay, my father was murdered by monsters, and I set out to avenge his death, but I'm no match. Yeah, so you can see she's got she's wearing a scroll carrier as a kind of necklace. It's an easy way to keep it out of your hands. I would definitely go take care of some monsters for you. Okay, so we've got a list like this for Shinshu Field. And we will yeah, huh. Isun's really gonna take care of anything. Still not much in here, but if she's not in the back... Oh, well, I still can't go in there. Okay. Alright. So, clearly, if one of the dog warriors is that way, we have to go up to find him. Here's the shrine. Well, here's where the priestess lives, anyway. So there's more up to go, for certain. Let's see. What have we got to work with? Oops. Okay. Oh. Right, there were chickens up here. I forgot about them. So that was Canine Warrior number 1 was that way. Well, there's Susano. Big help he is. Not. Maybe we need to go back out here. Ooh. That's... What's over here? You look new. I think these are Tanuki. We were talking last time about the mythical version of Tanuki. I don't actually know what Tanuki eat. Meat, apparently. So this is more or less what a Tanuki looks like. It's somewhere between a raccoon and a fox and a dog, and they're their own little critters. More like a civet than much else. They're very cute, and they're pretty mischievous, and as I was saying last time, the sort of mythical version of them is a trickster, much like a fox spirit in Japan, and also known for beating its giant balls like drums. Got some more gratitude. I want to see what the entry on them says. It calls them raccoons. Okay. But that's definitely a Tanuki. Okay, so we've got a crack in the wall here. Try to blow that open. Seems like we've got a new canine friend to make. Let's listen. Yep. Not surprising. We need to feed the doggo. Okay. So you can see it's a different breed of dog than the last. And very happy now. But it's got that same sort of kerchief on it, marking its identity as one of the canine warriors. This one is named Ray. Ray, among other things, can mean obedient, which is a good dog name. I can't quite read the kanji on there. It's definitely calligraphy. Could be Inu. which means dog, but I think... Oh, no, it's written out there. It's definitely not dog. It's probably Ray. It probably says Ray. I don't know the kanji for Ray. Alright. Off with you. I can believe these guys. Food is necessary for life. Unlike money or ink. Die, pot, die. Okay, so... Cute little forest. So, oh! We've got... Oh, right, we were up here before. We found this clover that we weren't... Oh, look, they were celebrating! We made it bloom and they celebrated with us. That's adorable. It's over here. Another one. Alright. Oh, we can probably help this child now. She wanted a blooming field of flowers. We're pretty good at that. Hey, look! A canine warrior hiding in the flowers. Let's talk to her first. Flower girl very happy. They're out, the flowers are out. Okay. Well, yet another breed of dog. Name is Shin. Oh, what's the common meaning of Shin? It might be loyalty. I'm forgetting right now. This, like, I think these dogs are all named, like, for virtues, more or less. Which makes sense if they're canine warriors protecting a shrine. A happy dog means an active dog. So that's 3 of the ones that are supposed to be here in this village. I'm a little perplexed by wanting me to go this direction. It looks like that is out of this whole area. Behind the... Oh, what's up there? Is there a... Oh, hawks. Hey, hawks. Oh. Alright. What else have we got? So what are you complaining about now? Ah. Windmill's still not going. So... I did have a vague suspicion that maybe I needed to get on top of the merchant, but don't see a way to do that. So it's about to be nightfall. knows what things will look like then. Oh, you know, there was a tower over here. Let's see what we can do with that. Oh, look down there. Isn't that pretty? We can actually see into that other region. So that is the Cutter's house. That presumably is the Guardian Sapling. So there's another flower over there. Can we get there? Oh, we can. Okay, good. I was worried for a second that we would get bonked on the head by that platform. Who are you? A floating island in the sky. Ah, the celestial plane. So this is a thing I associate more with Chinese mythology than with Japanese. The celestial plane being sort of a literal place in the sky where spirits live. Gods, divine bureaucrats, whatever they end up. That does seem a bit far-fetched. Is there some kind of island up there? Maybe. There's a monkey? Don't be afraid, little monkey. I will feed you. Oh, I think they're not afraid, just cold. Oops. I don't know if I can fall off this, but I don't want to. Oh, one of these guys. A blockhead. None shall pass. The one and only blockhead. I don't know how accurate I have to be. Ow. Rude. I mean, justified, but rude. Oh, they're different. This is kind of tough. I don't know if I have to do them in order. Sheesh. Maybe I gotta wait. Ow. just... Ah, got him. Well, that was silly. I got bullhorns. Alright, so I think I said before, cattle were actually imported to Japan. They're not unknown or anything, but they're not common, and they're definitely not native. So this is something a little bit exotic. We've got a clover to bloom. Alright. And what else? Oops, wrong button. Another one. Okay. Not what I expected. I really hoped this was going to be another dog, but... Okay, so... we did have more blossoms to try and get to, so let's see if those take us anywhere. We are pretty high up. But I think maybe the tower was the goal. So, not really the most useful. So, boy, day and night move real fast around here. Still pointing back at the entrance to the village, so maybe we want to go there. Ooh, birds to feed. Gotta feed the birds. Absolutely have to feed all of the animals. It is how I feel about this game. If you can't feed the birds, what are you doing? Okay. Nothing particular around there. Oh, we got more chickies to feed. Gotta feed the birds. Alright, maybe the trick is going back out of the village. Maybe by there are 5 in the village, they actually mean there are 5 near the village. Oops. But it really wants me to go in the merchant's hut. I mean, awning. Okay. Alright. So, no. It definitely says this way. And there definitely is not a this way. That's a new weapon we could get. I didn't notice that when we were here before. But he doesn't have a dog. And can't go over the side. And I can't go up. There's no up to go. I wonder if there's a cave somewhere that I'm missing. It goes below him. What is he? What are you saying? Yeah. Okay. Nothing there. This is the inn again, right? Yeah, I don't want the inn. Well, there's a gourd. Delicious, tasty gourd. There's our gourd farmer. I'm eating your gourds. Anything in here? More food to steal. Dogs will eat anything. That's the save point again. Ah! Keep falling in that pond because I can't see it. There's Susano being a jerk. What is down this way anyway? Oh, birds I haven't fed. That's what's down this way. Freya, are you bored of me running around? Oh hey, there's a person down here. Oh yes. It's the bamboo house. Eat some bamboo shoots. Steal some money apparently. I went in there before. What's this? Well, I do have ink now. Oh hey. It's a canine warrior. Taking a nap inside a giant bamboo somehow. What's a dog doing here makes a lot more sense here than it has before. Cheat is usually blood. I don't know what naming a dog blood for. Because we will. Guess we weren't quite close enough. Yeah, you see a different kanji on his little kerchief. I bet they are the kanji of the names. can, in fact, believe these guys. Oh, is that the last one? Somehow I thought we had one more to go. Back up to the shrine we go. Run like the wolf. I was thinking run like the wind, but I didn't quite get there. Okay. A doggo. We did have one more. And he is home. Porte. Clearly a warrior. He's lost his eye. Okay. Sure, let's fight. Got in a hit on me. Whoops. Oh, apparently my time is not actually that good. Again? Oh, so there are power orbs wrapped up in those kerchiefs. This is, you know, the fairly common idea of power being born in like a sacred gem or something. You can think of this as collecting like Dragon Balls. So like, Fuse behind him is like, "What are you doing?" Oh, and you can see the power orbs behind her start glowing when the dog that holds the orb is back. They have been somewhat naughty doggies. Okay, so they are virtues like I thought. So the Crimson Helm has a barrier placed around the windmill. Excellent. So they're all places we have access to, it looks like, which is good. Okay. Orient, where's the way out? There's the way out. Okay, I can't just jump off. I do love how the distant background that isn't rendered is done as a painting. It's really quite nice. Let's save now that we've done what we need to in Kusa Village for now. And let's get on the road. Maybe we'll even face some of those monsters that we need to take revenge on. I don't know what the name Haruka means. Haru usually means spring, but name readings are so different that I don't know if that's necessarily the case. So, back into the plains, or into the pass rather. So there's the Cutter's house. We need to somehow get inside. And it's nighttime. Yes, yes. Hey look, stuff to steal. I do not feel bad about stealing it from them. How do I mash it to bits? What if I paint a bomb on it? Doesn't look like the right idea. Oh, no, it worked. Smells nasty. We've got skulls everywhere. There's a sleeping old man, a horrid old woman, and he's got his cutters as a mustache. So he is clearly turned into some kind of, he's possessed or has some kind of horrid thing where he needs the flesh of innocents to survive. So a lot like a ghoul. Okay. You. Well, we've got more to listen to. Well, here we see moonlight revealing the true form of the monster. Alright, they are not human at all, but some kind of crane demons. I don't know why cranes. Cranes don't really eat human flesh. God. They're somewhat like samurai. They're dressed in court garb, and they have swords, and they're using fan weapons to fly aloft. Apparently I did pretty well in that fight. I'm not a particularly good fighter in any of these games, but I'll do. Aha! A sparrow girl. We've been told about them. So she is bowing in relief. Bowing is a very common gesture of greeting and courtesy and thanks. The handshake is a very Western thing. It's often bows in, especially in the East Asian cultures. And it really does, it gets very natural to bow to somebody after you've been there a while. The courtesies are so instilled that you will get people doing them sometimes in unison, and they really have sort of a formulaic meaning. There's not a lot of, like, you know, you hear about all of these, the language of bows, the politeness of bows, that kind of thing. It's mostly just a little dip, sometimes a little dip with hands, usually. It's polite, it's clean, it doesn't force you to touch somebody you don't want to touch. Unlike a handshake can't be used quite for that purpose. And it's just normal in a way that I think people here in the West get very weird about. I think bowing makes way more sense than, you know, a handshake or a hug or something. Not that I don't like hugging, I do. But, like, especially if you don't know someone, you know, just in general, I feel like there's a lot more attention to personal space and hygiene in the way that they think about their interactions with other people. Certainly, I never understood the masking until the pandemic hit here, and now I very much do. What about fist bumps? Says DJ Trundlebot. I mean, you can fist bump with your friends. I don't know that I've ever seen Japanese people fist bumping each other. So, in exact contrast to what I was just saying, everybody loves pets. Everyone loves pets. Precious Flower of the Sparrow Inn. So we've been talking about the little resort area that one guy is trying to get to that's hidden behind an illusion. And they said they have a sparrow girl, a sparrow clan who runs it. Sasa Sanctuary, yes. So when she says she's a precious flower, she's making a reference to her position as sort of like youngest and like her job is to be cute and appealing. She is a bit of a brat. That stupid there was probably a translation of baka, which you may have heard if you're a bit of a Japan nerd. Bit of a weeb, as the kids at one time said. I don't know if they still do. I don't think I ever knew. Not even when I was one. But, it's a pretty common childish insult. It more or less means dum-dum, you know, stupid. But it has more of the connotation of, like, it's also silly. Like, you can be a little, like, it's hard to be serious calling somebody baka. Like, it is like, it's a little more lighthearted. So, Chun. Dressed in her little sparrow OB is going to take us straight into these monsters. Oh, and we've got one of our marked critters here, so we'll be getting some revenge for Haruka. Or at least I thought we were. Maybe not? I thought they were all the fish guys. Maybe not. Yeah, we're just gonna wander into a bunch of fights. Oh, I see we get to fight crane monsters as regular enemies now. We've got to knock the sword out of their hands. DJ Trundlebot making a lovely cross-language pun here. If lots of people are being foolish with alcohol, is it a bacchanalia? Bacchanalia, of course, coming from Bacchus, the Greek and Roman god of wine, revelry, madness, theater, and so much more. Like gender fluidity. One of the earliest stories of Dionysus is of a ruler expressing a foolish amount of confusion as to whether he's a man or a woman. And no answer is provided. Dionysus represents the liminal, the breaking of boundaries, and the fluidity of identity. Just in case you thought that binary gender was somehow a part of Greek life in a way that wasn't problematic. And alright, so here we are escorting Chun. Remind you that Chun means kiss. Back into her home in Sasa Sanctuary, which we have not been here before. This is the bamboo village of Sasa. And it seems like a very good time to save. So we have an underling sparrow with a little scar on his cheek. Both of them have scars on their cheeks, on opposite sides for some reason. I love how they've marked them to make them look like they have little tiny beards. Oh, you can see the back of their robes have little sparrow sparrow faces. That is not a little sparrow. Boing. That's kind of disturbing. This also is giving me Yakuza, like just Yakuza energy, although it's meant to be more Noble Clan, I think. But look at that, like tiger on the apron, I think. Not quite sure how his garment is put together. Like, clearly he's got armor on the top. It's making that booming noise. His name is Jamba. He is Jumbo. He's got an eye patch. Very dangerous warrior. So that's a tiger skin over vest, it looks like, actually. It's not armor. He's got a kimono on under it. I'm not a him. That's very Yakuza vibes. I mean, in some ways, the Yakuza is an inherited version of the old samurai clans. Like, they're, you know, very hierarchical warrior societies. It's obviously not the same. Okay, so a couple things now that we're in here. Let's look around. So we have some very typical sort of peaceful garden things. These little bamboo water shoots, very common. The noise that they make is kind of soothing and meditative. So this is you know, we have little, they're a lot like those little like bird drinker toys. But these are beautiful and often found in peaceful places. Like this garden with its lanterns, its stone bridges. This is very clearly meant to be welcoming and an indication of a peaceful environment. Nice. Oh. Got another one of those. I did want to save. What's up here? Dawn breaks. Oops. That wasn't the dig button. A clover. That makes sense. Pardon me. So. And then we can see that full sparrow marking. It's modeled after Jamba. It's got that eye patch. And that's sort of a cloth door that you'll see used in, especially in, as like sort of a privacy marker, a boundary marker in indoor spaces sometimes, but especially around baths. So this is this sort of split curtain is very common. I actually have one myself that I used to use for over my stairwell. I'm not gonna go into it today, unfortunately. We are out of time for the day, but thank you all so much for joining me. I promise I will upgrade with whatever faith I've acquired at the end of the save. But it has been a pleasure leading you through the monstrous cutters to Sasa Bamboo Village, and I will hopefully see you next weekend. Alright, thank you so much, and hey, keep learning, friends.